But now I do reception and I do comedy, and it actually doesn't pay as well as one might think. So sometimes for extra money, I do bit roles in TVs and movies. But I found that I get typecast a lot. I'm either a nerdy girl or abusive mom. Yeah. Now these are all cast via a picture, so I'm wondering, what about me physically? Says avid reader and likes to shake babies. Because I mean, it is dead on. So I recently started seeing this new guy, and I really liked him, so I decided I was going to wait to have sex with him. And I waited 2 months, which was really good for me, because, you know, usually I wait about 3 drinks, so yeah, I felt I made progress. But the first time we had sex, it was kind of weird. I mean, it was great and all, but the first time he saw me naked, he's like, "Oh my God, I've imagined you naked before." And I was like, "Oh, that is sweet. He has masturbated to the thought of me. I feel pretty." But then he kept going, and he's like, "But you are so much better in real life." And it's like, thank you. But what exactly were you imagining? That I am so much better than, so I'll be honest, everything I've got is basically stock. So, was he imagining someone with like really hairy nipples? Some weird mole cluster that ran across my stomach? Maybe in general he always imagines something so incredibly horrible, so when he finally sees a chick naked, he's like, "Oh my God! You don't have some fetus-sized conjoined twins stuck to your stomach that prophesies the future! You're amazing!" And yes, that was a Total Recall reference. Yeah. And actually, after hearing this, I was kind of excited, because I was like, sweet, I am not going to be the awkward one in this relationship. But I was wrong, because we were out at dinner, and I was kind of complaining about how he doesn't text back that often. And he's like, "What are you going to do, kill me?" And I was like, "Well, you know, enough eye drops in your water will do it." And he's just like, "Well, you live in the middle of San Francisco, what do you do with the body?" I was like, "Well, if I kill you in my apartment, all I have to do is drag you into the bathtub. Because then I'm just going to need 3 bottles of bleach, a big knife, and a hammer. Because what you do is you make incisions on all the major arteries. And then you perform CPR on the body, because even though they're dead, the heart still works as a pump and will remove all the blood. Then you pour the bleach down the drain, killing the smell and any DNA out of it. Then you go ahead and you take that big hammer and you start working away at the joints, kind of tenderizing them. This is going to take a while. So you start working at tenderizing those. You go free to hit the face because you don't want the teeth in there either. Then you take the big knife when you're done tenderizing, you like start working away at that saw meat there. So, and if it gets stuck, you can actually take the hammer and push that blade through with that. You're going to want between 6 and 8 different pieces. And then when you're done with that, you can go and like bury them in different parts of the city, or throw them over the Golden Gate Bridge, or if there's a pig farm nearby, you can take it to them because they'll go through bone like a hot knife through butter. And then I look up and he is fucking creeped out. Apparently that is not good conversation material for day 3. But he does text back a lot faster, so I think we made progress. And then since we broke up, I don't have to feel bad about telling this story anymore. So it was a Wednesday and we were having sex. Good times. Now back to Tuesday, I was by myself, so I helped myself out with a little battery-operated friend. And afterwards, I was really tired, so I went to the bathroom and wash it off, so I kind of just swirled it around in a glass of water near the bed. I was tired. Anyways, back to Wednesday. We finished up, I'm putting on my clothes, I look back, he is drinking that glass of water. I know, I felt horrible. But then he was like, "Oh, this tastes weird." I was like, "What the fuck do you mean by that?" Since we're sponsored by a sex shop, I'll keep going with those stories. Just fuck it, why not, right? So, since I'm broke, I live in this tiny little studio apartment, and I have this friend that likes to pop by at random hours. Like Sunday, she wakes my ass up at the butt crack of dawn. It was like 2 p.m. But anyways, I go to the door and I let her in, and I look back at my bed and I realize, oh crap, I've left my vibrator out. Which, not a big deal, everyone masturbates good times. It was what was lying next to my vibrator that gave me pause. Because right next to my vibrator was a copy of the Diary of Anne Frank. Yes. And in my head, I'm like, no, those two do not go together. I mean, one is kind of sad and depressing, and the other one's just like Holocaust reading. But then I was like, well, maybe I can hide one real quick. Which one should I hide? I was like, Anne Frank. Yeah, because you know she'll stay quiet. Is she here? Thanks, husband, Colleen.
Colleen Watson! Colleen Watson! Oh my God. Hysterical.